Hey, I'm Expirasin, the timekeeper, and there's nothing unnatural about Unnatural History. Ryan Adams is the new VP of Cartoon Network, and CW4Kids hits the grave. I'm Expirasin, and I'm seeing red. Unnatural History. What can I say about this cartoon? Well, it's not a cartoon, that's for sure. I'm not 100% against live action shows on Cartoon Network. As long as the shows are scripted, as long as they have a script and the characters are animated to a certain extent, I can live with that. That's good. But Unnatural History? Is it along that line? Let's go through the details. Okay, this is another TV3G show that I'm okay with this as a person, but I got a nephew, and he's only 5 years old, and I wonder, you want the kid to watch cartoons because all they got is Phineas and Ferb on the Disney Channel, but, TV3G might be a little bit too much for the younger kids, that's all I'm trying to say. There's nothing really out there for basic cable, It's only like 2 or 3 channels for the kids nowadays, man. Right now, all they're thinking about is the adults right now. And we all watch TV online pretty much nowadays. So it makes me wonder, is TV3G too much? Is that, pushing the bar? And it makes me worry. Unnatural History? It might be the wrong kind of TV3G, actually. Now, I gotta warn you, I still have yet to complete an actual episode of Unnatural History. So, if this seems a little biased at all, please forgive me, okay? One thing I liked about this show was the dialogue. The dialogue was smart. It was catchy to a certain extent. The characters weren't all boring, even though they all seemed a little bit of the same. Even the girl character sounded like the rest of the guys, which is, I guess that's not a bad thing, but at the same time, I guess it distracts away from certain qualities of the show. It distracts away from certain qualities that the show should have, and that's not a good thing. In fact, that kind of sucks, actually. So, I think this show fits the criteria of what I was saying earlier about live action being on the Cartoon Network, but the characters are animated. Everyone has their own little interest, and they all have the general interest, which is history, magic, so be it. One kid, I think he was into manga, even though he kept on calling it manga, which was kind of, come on, man, do your research, dude. You into it. Why can't you call it by its proper name? Now, like I was saying, I like the dialogue to this show, but that might be a problem. When I noticed that I was enjoying the dialogue to Unnatural History, and I stopped hating on it for a few seconds, I remembered how I am. I like witty humor. I like snappy remarks, although not sarcastic. So, it makes me wonder, is this show branching off to the wrong audience? I mean, like like the dialogue almost seemed like I should have been watching Clue instead of an actual kids show. And it makes you think, anyone between the ages of 6 to 11 nowadays, would they be able to comprehend the dialogue that goes on in the show? Probably not. But still, is that a good thing? Who knows? But I know one thing for sure. When my little nephew came up to me and he was like, "Uncle Nari, can you change the channel?" That's in a message. He couldn't even get through the opening credits. And he's usually a smart kid. That's when I started thinking to myself, dang, this show must be boring. Is it boring? Well, kinda. This is a really mixed up review. The show is really boring in a lot of ways. Even with a decent storyline, the show still has some sort of lacking effort. Even when something exciting is going on, your mind is kind of drifting off into a world where you're caring about something else instead of the show. And that's a bad thing. What can be done about this? Kick it up a notch. It's TV3G. Do what you want, right? Come on, you made the show TV3G. Do something PG's. Do something that will need some parental guidance. Go ahead. Here's my suggestion that would really be cool with this show. And like I said, you can kick it up a notch with the excitement. But check this out. Listen to this. Okay. What if there were special guest appearances on this show? Not just any kind of regular appearances. I mean appearances by famous voice actors like John DiMaggio, Tara Strong, Cree Summer, maybe Kevin Conroy or something like that. Somebody like that to be on the show and to make it exciting. Now you might be saying, well, that's not as good as a real celebrity, right? Wrong. Because these people are characters. Like I said before, in Unnatural History, most of the main characters sound the same. So what if you had a real voice actor from a cartoon, i.e. Cartoon Network, that, you know, they spoke in their character voice and it made the show much more exciting. I think that's a beautiful thing. I think they should think about that. That would be really catchy. Have some guest appearances from voice actors, and that would be beautiful. I co-sign that. That's my idea. What do I think about Unnatural History? Surprisingly to me, it surprised me. There were actually some good things I liked about Unnatural History. I don't hate it 100%, but it needs tweaking because it's extremely boring to watch from time to time. My energy can be from right here to right here, down here, in an instant. And that's a bad thing because a lot of people, a lot of viewers nowadays, a lot of profitable viewers are very ADHD, and you don't want too much of that, okay? So what are we gonna get this show? What's the vote gonna be? I'm not seeing red, but I'm damn sure not seeing cool. I'm seeing something. Time for a little tune-up. Check it out. After about 2 years of me fighting, talking to myself online, to you guys, and after 268 signatures, Robert Swartz is no longer the VP of Cartoon Network. This probably wasn't because of me, but I did the best I could, and I let my voice be heard. You let your voice be heard too. Thank you to everybody who signed the petition. Thank you to everybody who either watched the video. Thank you to everybody who ever told me that I was ugly as hell and I don't need to be on the internet. Oh, hold on. Hey, fuck them dudes. But anyway, thank you to everybody who signed the petition. Goodbye, Robert Swartz. Peace out. I hope you die. Now, you might be asking yourself, who is this new dude that's running Cartoon Network and Adult Swim now? Well, his name is Ryan Adams, and for 10 years he's been working on alternative programming for Headline News and CNN. So, Ryan, I'm keeping an eye out for you. I'm looking at those TVPG shows that you are approving right now, sir. And, I don't know, man. Just keep your head up and don't make any crazy decisions. Don't go too far. You don't want to disappoint all the kids in the world now, do you? You don't want to ruin them either. You don't want to ruin any childhood, so keep your head up, keep doing a good job, and I'll be watching you. Next week on, well, Next time on Seeing Red, I go deep down into the Saturday morning industry. And I will be mourning Saturday mornings. Starting with the CW4Kids. It's gonna be a sad one with me. Peace out.